Omar Esoff here, and today we're talking about proper programming once again. How do you set up your training? Do you just do 3x10? Do you just do chest and biceps? Well, maybe, just maybe, son, it's time to change your training. Get in the game. Get with it. These are rules that are pretty much going to apply for every single person, whether you're trying to build muscle or strength, or maybe a combination of both. The first big question, how frequently should you train a muscle? Great question. Obviously, no one will argue that you need to train a muscle at least one time a week. But where people get caught up is they tend to forget that when you do movements, so when you do a bench press, it trains multiple muscles. So it's your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. And so when people try and have muscle-specific days, like a chest day, they're actually training several different muscles. And what the research shows for a natural athlete or natural training, 2 times a week hitting up a muscle seems to be most optimal. This doesn't mean you have to have a chest day twice a week. It does mean that your chest can be targeted twice in that week. So here's what I mean. Think about movements instead. So maybe on Monday it's more horizontal pressing. So you do, a bench press, an incline press, maybe one overhead press. And then on Thursday, if you do vertical pressing on that day, so more overhead pressing, so maybe a seated military press, a Cuban press, you throw in a floor press. In that way, you have 2 separate days in which you're targeting your chest, as well as other muscle groups. A golden rule is that as long as there's sufficient volume in your training, and as long as the muscle recovers, training a muscle more frequently is beneficial. So I would say every single muscle, try and attempt to at least stimulate it twice per week. Next up, deload. Nobody wants to do this because everybody wants to be Rocky. They think it's a question of will. Well, son, if you want to deadlift 600 pounds, you gotta learn how to periodize your program. I'm talking about the classic 3+1 conjugate method. And all I mean by that is, should you go 100% every single week? Absolutely not. It's the fastest, quickest way to make absolutely no progress, because you're going to be working out too hard, too frequently, not allowing your body to recover. And this is a problem, because what happens, you'll accumulate then fatigue and your performance will start to suffer. You might actually plateau, or worse, the weights might start to decrease. So the easiest advice I could give you guys is the 3+1 split. What this means is that when it comes to training, you would train 3 weeks very intense, and then on the 4th week, go lighter. So reduce your loads by maybe 20 to 30%. And reduce your total training volume by 20 to 30%. So if you train 5 times a week, train perhaps 4 times a week, focus on that 4th week on movement, technique, trying to get better at what you're doing. This will allow you to recover so that when you restart this, so you're back the next week to training intensely, you'll find you get a better training effect because you're recovered. Look, if it works for guys that bench press your deadlift and squat weight combined, then you'd be wise to follow. Take that deload and you will avoid becoming a zombie. Or that dude that's always stuck bench pressing 135 pounds year after year, every single year. Lastly, should you train to failure? The short answer is no, you should not. You can watch my video on this over here, but essentially what it does, it induces too much fatigue. And if you think about it, if you do your first movement and you train to failure, you go really hard because you want willpower, right? Go all out. You're going to blow your load too early. Then the rest of the workout's going to suffer because you're struggling on that first movement. You expended all your energy, and now your second movement, third movement, fourth movement, fifth movement, it's going to turn to shit. You're going to be using less weight. People that train to failure too frequently will end up not making progress in the gym by not training effectively because they're not allocating their energy correctly. I'm not saying never train to failure. I think you should fail rarely. And if you're to fail, I would fail last on small muscles that are inconsequential or where they don't take up that much energy. So training your biceps to failure, absolutely fine. Training your deadlift to failure, terrible idea. Once again, be careful of a lot of bodybuilding myths where bodybuilders are enhanced. So what works for an enhanced user and a natural athlete are completely different. Be smart. Train effectively, get quality reps, feel the muscles contracting, and you'll see a lot more progress. That's it. That's the video. 3 other cornerstones of proper programming. How to start designing a damn good program. If you follow these rules, you'll get more results. So thank you, as always, for watching my video. And if you liked the video, make sure to like the video. If you're not a subscriber, fuck you waiting for? You know you should be subscribed. Yeah, you. Right there. What are you doing with your life? Subscribe. Nation of Buffness, I'll be seeing all you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself. Peace.